I will always write back. Chapter 6, page 49, April 1998. Martin. I had always wanted to see an American dollar. People often said that money grew on trees in America. Seeing this crisp green bill tucked so neatly in Caitlin's letter made me think this may have been true. It looked so new, so hopeful, like a leaf in springtime. I had just laid it on the bed when Nation came into the house. "Whoa," he said, "where did you get that?" "Caitlin sent it," I said. We both bent over it to get a better look. It was bigger than our Zimbabwean dollar, though I rarely saw those either. My parents used coins primarily. "How much do you think it is worth?" I asked. Nation shrugged his shoulders. We both knew it was worth more than a Zimbabwean dollar, especially with inflation, which was escalating daily. Suddenly, the room was awash with a big swath of sunlight. I turned to see my mother's small silhouette in the doorway. "Why are you all standing around?" she asked. "Your father will be home soon." "My," I said, handing her the dollar. "I received another gift from Caitlin." My mother's eyes grew wide like a child spotting an elephant. "Why would she send such a thing?" she asked, though it sounded more like an accusation. Her question startled me. Suddenly I worried that my request for a dollar may have been out of line. Truly, I was just curious. We were sharing information about each other's culture, but I realized by the look on my mom's face that I had asked too much. "I asked her to send it," I said. "I did not think it was such a big deal." "Well, it certainly is," she said, still stern. "Your friend must be very wealthy, and you must keep this safe, Martin." When I showed my father the bill that evening, his face lit up. "This is the real thing?" he said. "How much is it worth?" Nation asked. My father shook his head. "I will take it to work tomorrow to ask my boss," he said. "He will know." My mother winced. "You must bring that back," she said. "That's Martin's money." My father turned to me and winked. Your mother, always so worried. That following evening, my father arrived more joyous than I had seen him in many months. "Your friend gave you a very generous gift," he explained. "This baby worth 20 Zim dollars." I was stunned. It felt too big of a responsibility for me, so I asked my mother to keep it in a safe place until I knew what to do with it. The dollar stayed put for 2 weeks. By then, we had been eating sadza for days on end, no beans or even collard greens, and our mealy meal was running low. I could see the strain on my mother. She would make a pot every morning and we'd eat it clean. In the evenings, our portions were smaller than usual. Simba complained that he was still hungry. "My," I said one day as my stomach groaned from hunger. "Let's use Caitlin's money for groceries." She shook her head. "That is for your future, Martin," she said. "Our future is now," I explained. She reluctantly agreed and then climbed on top of her bed to get the dollar from the box. We went to the post office to exchange it. The teller did not even have to check any charts or use a calculator. "One American dollar is 24 Zim dollars," she said. My mother looked as surprised as I felt. My heart quickened. I nodded to her, and she exchanged the dollar. We went directly to the market and bought enough groceries for 2 weeks. That night, we ate beans and collard greens with our sadza. And the following morning, we had bread and tea for the first time in many months. It was April in Zimbabwe, but all this good food felt like Christmas. All thanks to my new friend in America. That evening, with a full belly, I wrote Caitlin a letter. I thanked her for the very generous dollar bill and told her I would send her something in return soon. I I considered sending her a Zimbabwean dollar, but knew that was one day's worth of Sansa. So instead, I made the only promise that I knew I could keep, that I would always write back no matter what. That's so sweet.